Hey guys, it's Jared Kilpack with Newbeak Homes. Welcome back again to Project Blueprint, Discovering the Black Mountain Model. This will be our last episode before we get to break ground. Today we're going to take the last step in the design development process that will lead us to a final set of construction documents ready for the build. So as a reminder, last episode we explored our schematic design. Today I'm going to take you through the last phase of the design process, which we refer to as the design development phase. That's where we get to take our schematic design, which gave us a pretty good idea of what we were looking for in a home, to now where we are trying to optimize that design and work through some of the design challenges to bring about a set of finalized blueprints ready for permits. But first, if you could, like this episode and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, let's dig into what we did. So first, I want to take you guys to the first floor. Now I've made a bunch of marks on here and to kind of help me understand what I should explain to you guys. So over here on my screen being recorded, I'll kind of do both. So I'll do this overhead shot by hand and then also on the screen here I wanted to have you guys take a look at as we kind of enter into this from the house. So there is some changes that are not showing up here on these plans because they were kind of last minute changes. But one thing I wanted to point out is we decided that, with today, there's so many people that are ordering things online and would probably like a package locker just for security reasons. We decided we had space here, so we're gonna go ahead and add a package drop box there. Then, one thing that's not showing here is we went through this a few different ways, but we decided that we didn't need this coat closet here, that it would kind of not be needed, which is gonna allow us to move the shelving that will be in the bathroom up over to here and allow us to straighten out this wall. And then we're just gonna go ahead and put a rod underneath the stairs. So you still have all this stairs underneath here, but there will be a rod that will be there. This will also allow for a nice area to set up some displays, a little table with pictures and other things that will be beautiful as you kind of come into this entry, especially for those that are coming in that maybe are coming into the home office, which kind of leads me into the next space. This half bath is going to service people here. Guests that are in the home here can sneak far enough away, and we intentionally wanted that far enough away. But what we decided to do here, and even though it's kind of showing it here because we had this pretty early on from feedback on you guys, is that while this can turn into a bedroom, for right now, because it is an office, we didn't want that additional door here that could be left open and people feel like this is where they go to use the restroom, but rather over here and creating a better sense of privacy for this bathroom. As we kind of move into the house, I want to kind of show you what we kind of did in this mechanical space. So over here, if you guys can look, I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit, make this a little bit easier for you guys to see on this screen. I recognize I can't zoom in as well over here, but in this area, we decided that we needed some space to get some heat runs up to the second level. So what we ended up doing is creating a chase here that's in this space right here. We're gonna mount the tankless hot water heater on the backside of that wall, and then we're gonna cut a hole in the floor that allow you to access the crawl space, and then the furnace will actually be mounted downstairs in the crawl space. I think I got a picture of that here. So in here, you'll see we've got some pony walls that are being built, but then that furnace is sat down in the basement or down in the crawl space. Next thing, before we move all the way into the great room and the kitchen area, I wanted to kind of pull us back out. So this is kind of how guests will enter into the home. I want to kind of show you how we've got this set up and kind of what we've refined for the occupants, the owners and their, whoever will actually live in this home, and kind of optimizing that. So as we looked at this space in here, we kind of felt like, man, this is the right connectivity, but this is not the right layout in this area. So basically what we decided to do is we decided to move this wall down, you can see that here, And then that gave us an opportunity, because this was such a small drop zone we felt for this space and for the number of bedrooms, that we bumped this door down, which allowed us to have this entire space for the drop zone, which I think is much nicer, quite a bit more space, and kind of creates a better flow into this area, allowing you to drop your stuff off and then kind of move into the kitchen. And maybe if you're the owner, allows you to kind of move into your suite. This also allowed us to kind of reconfigure this area here. So we ended up moving, instead of having a closet in the master bath, we now have just shelves that are open. And then there's this corner here. We took the opportunity we're gonna put some cabinetry in here that'll allow you to have a little drop zone for your laundry, where you can store some laundry baskets, some dirty clothes and some folded clothes, and have that right there in that corner. So that'll be kind of a fun feature with this home. So so that really changes the flow coming in for the occupants. Like I said, these are not major changes that we're doing. Overall, if you took a look at this floor plan, you know, this one over here, our schematic design, and then you looked over here on this kind of design development set that is ready for basically permitting and construction, it's very, very similar. But these little nuanced changes make all the difference in making the home function really well. And it takes time, it just takes iterations. This never comes out perfect the first round, and you just kind of have to work the process until you get to something that is much better than what you started out with. So as we kind of come into the kitchen, we went through a number of different scenarios of rearranging this place, but overall, we went back to our original design. It is very, very similar to what we had here. We just felt like that actually worked from day one, and there isn't a whole lot that we should change about that. We essentially have two working triangles. We got the refrigerator, the stove range, and the sink, and then we have another working, which is the microwave, sink, and refrigerator. So that works really well. And then this allows us to flow into a hidden pantry with plenty of storage for all your different food needs. So very happy with that. So as we kind of move out of the kitchen and move into the dining and the great room, you know, as we looked at this, we kind of felt like this space was a little bit too tight. I didn't love where this door position was, especially relative to the front door. Kind of being able to look in and see that door as you kind of come in. It was a little bit off-putting for me. So what we ended up deciding to do is take advantage of all of this space over here. So we bumped that wall there. We also ended up moving this wall back, and we even took a little bit more liberty of bumping the fireplace out. So we got the fireplace bumped out. We are able to reposition that door over into this corner, and then that allowed us to have a lot of flexibility with this dining room table, which I think is really, really nice. There should be really good flow getting into the backyard. And because this is a south-facing area, so this backyard is going to be really nice to enjoy in the summertime, and even frankly with a hot tub or whatever in the wintertime, being that south-facing. You know, we didn't change a whole lot as you look into the owner suite, the master suite. Let me kind of bring that up here. You know, that pretty much stayed the same. You know, generally we were pretty happy. I kind of showed you what we kind of did over down in this area already, and those were really pretty much those only changes. You know, our plans here is to have an open shower that allows you to go into here, an open air shower with a freestanding tub with no curb and flat. So I think that will turn out really nice. Let me jump you into a couple other things. One is, we ended up, right now we just had a 9x8 overhead door on that side. And what we ended up doing, let me jump to the elevations here, is we decided to jump this up as high as we could. It'll be about a 10-foot door. Hopefully that allows you guys to take your boats in and out of this area with that additional height, because of how that roof line is pulled back here. The other thing I wanted to point out that we kind of worked through in this design development phase is the different stepping of the heights. So we've got this super tall, almost 18-foot ceiling. we decided to actually raise the plate height in the kitchen dining room area to 10 feet. The rest of the house will be 9 foot, but we just felt like, man, with this super tall ceiling here and this being a really nice home, we just felt like, let's jump this up to 10 foot. It's not that often that we will do 10-foot ceilings, but we did take advantage of that. And these are those cross sections that make the construction documents, makes it very buildable for our different team members, different subcontractors that will help in actually constructing this. Also wanted to point out, we kind of want to do like a fun, unique fireplace here. So we're looking at sloping that. None of this is set in stone, but this is what we're leaning towards, is having some crown molding here with a really nice fireplace, kind of slopes and has a different change. The one thing as well is we were kind of going, we're not going to do necessarily this type of railing, but just depicting that there's going to be railing. One thing that's really nice is as you stand up here over this balcony, you'll be able to see all the way down into this area. At one point, if we look at the second level, we were considering, should we close that off? Should we actually have permanent walls here and walls here to kind of break the noise so there isn't so much noise? But we just felt like, man, this is such a beautiful thing that we should. One thing that we're able to do here at New Peak is we've got a great team. And so Ben was able to draw this plan up for us in 3D and Revit. And then basically with our sales and marketing team and in collaboration with Ben, they were able to bring this model and allow us to walk it in VR. Some of you guys may have seen some of our Instagram posts about that, but that was really where I felt really comfortable about this floor plan. VR has come a long ways in the last couple of years, but we were able to actually walk the roof, see it all the way around the side, walk through the house and get a really good sense for what this was like and what it would be in real life to experience. So that's one thing that we're able to do at New Peak that is quite different than a lot of builders, at least in our particular areas, allow you to walk this. So we're super happy with the way that that's turning out. And part of that, the reason why I shared that with you, is we were able to experience what it would be like to stand up here and look down into the great room. And we just felt like that wasn't something that we could do, even though there may be a little compromise with noise. We just felt like that's what really needs to be done. Just wanted to point out there on the second level that we really, here's this schematic design and here's where we're at right now. We really didn't change a whole lot. We were actually just really happy with the way this is just very simple, an area for gaming and playing and whatever up here with these 2 bedrooms and the adjoining and then a storage closet. So we're just super happy the way that turned out. We just didn't feel like there was a whole lot of need there. Let me bring you now to the exterior and show you a couple refinements that we did here in the design development piece. One thing you may notice up here is that these peaks were sticking out. Now, as we tried to come up with this like farmhouse country feel that was really popular, that you guys voted on for us to move forward with, which is kind of what we initially were going for, we just felt like we didn't like that these peaks were sticking out beyond this back ridge. So we took the liberty to kind of lower those peaks. It's still it's still a 10-12 pitch here, but what we ended up doing was just steepening the pitch in the back to bring that up higher and get that to meet back there. We think that visually is much stronger. There's some different perception as you're standing on the street than we can from this like orthographic view. That's what this is referred to as opposed to perspective, which is what we see with our real eyes in real life. This is a perspective view that you would see. So these ridge lines do poke out, but we still just felt like we wanted to steepen up this back roof to match that up so that those looked a little bit better. Kind of see from this side angle as well that that's kind of where it was before. Obviously this roof was a little bit different, but that helps a lot. The other thing that we took advantage of, let me get this was the back of the house. So before, because we ended up blowing out this area of the dining room, we ended up just combining these gables back here and moving that door over from this position where it's showing it right now to where it was before. The other thing we just felt like was there was too many windows on this side, so we did eliminate some of those bank of windows. But overall, that's what it kind of looks there on the back of the house and some of the refinements that we made from that. You know, the other thing I want to mention, one thing that's going on behind the scenes is the compilation of the specifications for this project. That would include things like the type of insulation and what type of windows, so on and so forth. Generally speaking, as a builder, we know what's best value for your money when it comes to many of the simple specifications. And oftentimes those needs are different from place to place. So what we like to do is give recommendations to you, our clients, and then, you know, answer any questions that you guys may have about those specifications. You know, we couldn't be happier with the way this floor plan and project is coming together. Thanks everyone so much for your feedback. This is going to be a very beautiful home that is both functional and very pleasant to live in. We really do believe that the best memories are made at home. Please stay tuned for our next video as we move into the construction phase and get to see this home being built. If you have any questions about our process or anything else building related, please reach out to me. Otherwise, let's get back to work and happy home hunting.